Well, I guess I'm going to make another boring video. I was out doing my best to be safe with a couple of my jobs. I lost one of my face masks, but I got a whole bunch of them in the back of my Mad Max car, so went to Farmer Boys and got to sit down, segregated in seats in the dining room waiting for my food, and there's a line around the block for the drive-through, and so just back to working on some of the cars. I can't seem to get anything sold, or I can't even buy anything on OfferUp. Nobody wants to respond, even if you offer them the money that they want. So that's a good sign, because that means they're more desperate for segregation than green pieces of paper and stuff. So just kind of taking advantage of the time to get stuff organized and get my trailers straightened out and my car straightened out, and get my ambulance worked on pretty soon, I hope. Probably by next week I'm going to find out whether what's going on with the engine is terminal or not, because I want to do that transcontinental trip across the country with it. Well, I'm not probably going to do it. I'm going to send it to New York, because they need it more than we do at the moment. And I'm going to find out where and what and how we're going to be able to keep things in order and keep track of everything I do and everywhere I go, in case somebody coughs or sneezes on me. I went to the gas station the other night, and there's about 7 police cars in the parking lot. It was a gas station I normally don't go to, but I decided that might as well go in and get my tank filled on the gray car, and it pumped 15 gallons of air in my tank, I guess, because when I left I still had a quarter tank, and that's what I showed up with. So I'm gonna go check it again, but I have had a little talk with the cashier to find out if that had ever happened, and he was already talking to his manager. It's that Super 8 gas station here in town, and manager, I guess, overheard what I said and told the cashier not to worry about it, and to tell me that it never happened to anybody else, and they've been selling gas all day and had no problems. And so I'm going to check one more time, because who knows, maybe my gas gauge or sending unit is on the fritz, and maybe I actually did get fuel, and the gas gauge is just being a little bit finicky. So let's see here. Yep, still just a little over a quarter of a tank, so hopefully it didn't pump anything in there that wasn't fuel. And I already made a call to Weights and Measures, and here's my receipt, and here's the phone number for San Jacinto Weights and Measures. Pump 6, I paid $36 for nothing, because this car only has a 20-gallon tank, and 15 gallons would have filled it up, and it clicked at 15, which is weird, and I've never had a problem with this fuel gauge before. So I took pictures of my license plate, my fuel gauge, the store, the cashier, the stamps from Weights and Measures to certify the actual gas pump, and I asked for a loss of product form from the cashier, and the manager was on the phone with him already, probably for the same thing I went through. I mean, that'd be a pretty good racket at this time in the world to just start shorting people fuel and pocket the proceedings and have a bunch of extra cash on you. And so we're going to see what Weights and Measures says when they call me back next week, unless they got bigger fish to fry, which I'm sure they do. But I'm out $36 and I'm still on a quarter of a tank. I was going to drive to Riverside in that car today, but now I don't know what's in the tank because it's definitely not $15 worth of fuel. It's probably about $36 worth of fuel, 15 gallons of fuel. It's probably a gallon of some water, and the rest was air. So I'm not going to screw around with that. I'm just going to let the resources I have legally take care of it, and decided don't panic is probably a good idea, because it'll get taken care of one way or the other, and I'll just have to drive old Vixen out there instead of a car that looks like about every federal car that's been in town lately. So anyways, I'm getting to roll on down the road, go home, get some domestic stuff done, and then come back and go to Riverside in a little while. So just figured I'd make another video while I had an extra 7 minutes. Talk to you later.